Shoals, Indiana has a population of about 800. Shoals is located on the East Fork of White River in the southwestern part of the state. It's about an hour's drive from Bloomington and only 15 minutes west of the French Lick West Baden Resort. The mascot and nickname of Shoals High School is the Jug Rocks, a name taken from the unique sandstone rock formation nestled in the woods in the west part of the town. The Jug Rock is about 60 feet high and 20 feet in diameter. It's the largest freestanding table rock formation east of the Mississippi River. With its rolling wooded hills and wide river bottoms, Shoals in Martin County has some of the most beautiful scenery in the state. Rich in natural attractions like caves, springs, rock formations, streams, and cliffs, Martin County has much to offer the nature enthusiast. Many people like to experience the area's natural beauty in its purest form by canoeing on White River or trekking on the many miles of hiking paths. Here they can observe the many springs flowing into the river and the sandstone bluffs soaring above the narrow, rugged river valley. This is the setting for the Catfish Festival, a unique Hoosier community celebration that's been going on for over 25 years in this small river community.
Our community may be small, but it has a large heart. Everyone cares about our community in their own special way, and it's just Shoals. It's really unique, and no one else can get to say that their hometown's biggest thing is a Catfish Festival.
The Catfish Festival does just about everything you could think of to celebrate the catfish and the 4th of July. It's a hometown reunion that embraces patriotism, community pride, and the river culture of Shoals, Indiana.
Our town is small, and this is one of the biggest things we have going for us, and people from all over come. And there's just so many things to do, from the parade to the cooking contest, the fishing contest. And one of the neat things, I think, is when the queen kisses the catfish. The biggest catfish is caught. I think that's great.
A lot of people come and plan their vacations during our catfish. It's time for families to get together, and we just have a good time. And a lot of families have their reunions at this time, and we just like it. Small town. Small town.
Wow, you see people at Catfish that you haven't seen since last year at Catfish. Whether it be on Main Street or down at the ballpark or out here on this bridge, just walking by to see who's out here. Yeah, you'll never know who you run into.
I can see that it's a little slice of Americana that is very genuine, whale of a lot of fun. And the local Lions Club, they use the money that they make in this festival to do a lot of good things in our town. So it's just a winner all the way around.
I would say I enjoy coming down and walking around and talking to people I haven't seen for a while. Seeing the big catfish in the catfish tank once the competition's over. Watching the fishermen off the bridge.
People do buy in because there's something for everybody. Everybody has a vested interest in what's good for the community. It's a celebration of the 4th of July. At the same time, it allows people to come home. You'll see a lot of people you haven't seen for years. Relatives will have reunions just based around the festival because that's when everybody is here. It's very important.
Sometimes at the Catfish Festival you see people that you haven't seen in years, kind of like me. Like I came home and people haven't seen me in a long, long time. So it's kind of like a reunion of sorts, like where everybody comes back and sees each other.
The best part of this festival is I get to see people that I haven't seen for 20 years. Everybody comes back to Shoals for the 4th of July, it seems like. This festival, it brings everybody out together. It makes a little income for the community so we can support things like the ballpark and different projects. And it's probably one of the biggest 4th of July festivals in southwest Indiana. But to me, I don't want to be any place else on the 4th of July but here.
We're frying fish and selling catfish. And tonight it will be busy, busy, busy. It's not been too busy because there's a lot of people still working today on Friday. But it's going to be a busy time tonight.
How's she doing? She doing all right?
She's doing a fine job.
Okay.
She's the best fish breader we got.
You'd tell her if she wasn't, right?
I would. Yes, she would.
So how long have you guys been involved in this festival?
Well, 26 years.
How long's it been going on?
26 years.
How did you get involved?
I joined the Lions Club. My girlfriend and I, Teresa Foreman, which has been is the past president, and we was the first 2 women members here in Shoals. So we've been working steady. We do the parade. We've done the parade, 4th of July parade, probably about 8 or 10 years. It's been a while. We work here in the stands, and we make quite a bit of money, and we give it, back to different projects of different things.
Tell me about that first Catfish Festival. How did it come about, and how did it go off?
I think Steve Deckard had a lot to do with it. Steve Deckard and Gene Shaw, and he passed away last year. And he was one of our fine members.
Yeah.
And I think they were walking across the bridge one day, and they kind of thought maybe having some kind of a festival. And everybody fishes off the bridge, and we all think of catfish when we think of shoals. So that's just how it all started.
I named that first year, and the name stuck, and it went over so well with the great Catfish McBait that first year between Frank McCloskey and Rick McIntyre, both very nice gentlemen, both deceased now, and that helped us get the ball rolling.
What do you think about having the catfish associated with your town here?
Well, a lot of people make fun of it, but we're proud of it, It's White River, we live on White River, and the catfish is what's brought us all together as a community, having this Catfish Festival, all the different activities around the catfish, fishing contest, the Catfish Queen pageants.
Shoals is always noted for the river and the fishing.
So would you consider yourself a river rat when you're...
I am a river rat.
Okay, you still are a river rat.
Still are. We have a place on the river too. And
go ahead and tell me what a river rat is.
Well, a river rat's somebody who was raised on the river bank nearly, and spent a lot of their childhood fishing and boating.
Well, I've been fishing off this bridge in particular since I was probably 10 years old. My dad taught me how to fish off this bridge as well as the railroad trestle, and ever since the first fish was hooked, I've been hooked. It's a little bit of an art fishing off the bridge almost. I mean, yeah, you can drop a line right in the water with a big weight, but to fish it right, you gotta have a little finesse.
Well, they're trying to catch catfish, only catfish, off this bridge. And it's probably more than 50 feet below to the riverbed. So it's very difficult to do. And we weigh each catfish they catch. And the object is to get the heaviest daily stringer weight. And also there's a separate prize for the biggest single fish. I have been the contest chairman for, I think this is my 14th year.
14th year. How'd you get into this?
A gentleman retired and asked me if I would take his place, and I did. And I've enjoyed it every year.
What do you enjoy most about it?
Oh, I enjoy the people. They're very, very good, wholesome people. I like to be around them, and I like to be on the river, and I like people who fish.
I'll use the small bluegill and sunfish for flatheads. They tend to like them better. Flatheads tend to be bigger, win you the weight, big fish. But for the channel cats and flatheads as well, use chicken liver and shrimp. You just never know, it's a gamble. Some people use cheese bait, dough bait, just to each his own. And you can pretty much guarantee it, every 4th of July I'll be on this bridge with a line in the water. Been fishing in this contest as long as I can remember. Won it a couple times, lost it a few more. Got a campsite on the river. It's Shoals, what can you say? The whole community revolves around the river, so.
Now this is a little bit different this year with the water being so high. So what are the things you have to contend with?
Current and a lot of debris. Usually the problem is finding just enough weight to get you to go downstream and not sink on the bottom. This year it's exactly the opposite. You got to find enough weight to keep you on the bottom. Right now I've got right about 5 ounces on in the current, and on my bottom weight I've got 7 ounces. So, and I could use a little more.
It's been a bad year for the river. It's been up and down pretty bad. We had a 6-inch rain last Saturday, and the river jumped up 5 foot, so it makes it hard for fishing for these guys.
Just nothing biting yet.
Yeah. You have to have the patience.
Oh yeah. It's like last year I left that bluegill in the entire time, and about 10 minutes before time to stop, that's when I caught that fish.
That 8-pounder?
Yep.
Yeah.
Of course I had assistance too. Victor down there, he helped me get it in. They was hollering at me because I was down here talking and my pole was going crazy up here. 2 years running, I've won this bridge fishing contest.
So you've never not won.
Right.
when you've been in this competition.
If I had a piece of wood, we'd knock on it now. But
all right.
Yeah, I'm going for the three-peat.
Let's see how you hold your mouth when you do that. So.
Yeah. I'm fishing, and I got my nephew and my brother-in-law, and then on the other side of him is my older sister, so we all fish on this.
Yeah.
We used to camp at Hindoston Falls when I was a kid. Come down here in St. Helgramites in the riffles down here when the river was low.
Uh-huh.
But I've been around it, like I say, my whole life.
I was raised right next door to the Catfish King, Quarter Rangeland, and I watched him catch big fish. He'd get them out of logs and trot lines.
Jimmy's seen some big fish over the years that Quarters had tied up in the backyard butchering.
Did he have the record, the state record?
No, because most of his was caught illegal, and he wasn't going to turn them in. I know he had one that was a little over 90 pounds, and so I'm sure it would have been a state record for flathead. But
yeah.
I'd say the state record won't hold if somebody ever gets one legal. But you know, the other thing in the West Fork, a lot of the rivers around here you can use nets. We can't use nets up through here, it's illegal. Anything below the mouth of Lost River, you can use a net, which is a commercial way of fishing for catfish, but we can't do it up this section of the river. I don't know why, I can't get an answer out of anybody why, but it makes it a little easier to catch them. I can remember Quarter as a kid. I used to fish off the bridge when I was about 12 years old. Quarter, he always had a big old chew of leaf tobacco, and he'd spit it, just kind of dribble down his chin. He'd have it on his belly. He talked really funny.
Well, see, back and we got up down by the bridge. It weighed 110 pounds.
They had a piece of steel set up, stacked around some rocks for a nesting bed, and they'd go down there and get flathead out of that nest, and he was pretty pissed, so they built a new bridge. He lost his spot. And the funniest thing about old Quarter was he couldn't swim a lick. He'd be out there waist deep water, that swift water, couldn't swim a lick.
He was the king of catfish in Shoals.
The store where Cody Roush and his wife Michelle operate White River Outfitters is also still home to Queen's Clothing, a landmark business that has been located in downtown Shoals since 1915. Cody's grandparents, Lawrence Son Sorrells and his wife Inez, bought Queen's from her parents in 1947. Seeing all the activity on the street outside the store during the Catfish Festival reminds Son of what the town was like back when he first got into the business.
I think at one time there was, 6 grocery stores here on Main Street. Saturday night, you couldn't get up down Main Street, shoulder to shoulder. The farmers come to town and the wives go to the grocery shop. People would try to get in town early to get a parking place on Main Street. I don't know what, my father-in-law would always bring the car down in front of the store for Miss Queen could sit in the car and watch. And another fellow, Eldred Lindley, a railroader, he'd bring his car up about 3 o'clock in the afternoon before they'd have a place to sit and watch people go up and down Main Street. Older fellows go down to Johnson Cherryworth Hardware there. They had a big, long bench they called the Lawyer's Bench. And they all sat there and talked about their farm and one thing or another till about 9 o'clock or so, and then they gather the kids up and go home.
When the Catfish Festival first started, Queen's Clothing became the place to get your official Catfish Festival t-shirt. And it still is today.
That is the official t-shirt.
All right, and so you started selling those the first year and it surprised you?
So I thought it was crazy about trying to sell Catfish t-shirts, but I know the newspaper man, he kind of kidded me about that every once in a while yet.
Yeah.
We call it Christmas in July. Just me and my wife, and people come and buy these shirts, and we'd get so doggone far behind, they had a rack. We'd put their name on them, put them on that rack, and made them and got to them.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for being here. We're going to start with the posting of the colors by the Legion Post 61. Would everyone please stand and remove your hats? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm very glad that we have such an excellent crowd here, and I hope that everybody has a good time for the entire weekend. We've got a 4-day weekend in essence, and we're sure glad to have everybody here.
Welcome to the 26th Annual Shoals Catfish Festival and to the 25th Annual Catfish Festival Queen Contest. Let's begin with our little firecrackers. Maya Stevens, Jonathan Emmons, Aislinn Braun, Hunter Seitz, Emma Houchins, Samuel Talbert, Kenley Shaw, Jesse Cole Burton, Taylor Crodel, Lucas Bayless, Kendall Rose Moffett, Waylon Harder, Justice Watson, Corbin Lentz, Olivia Grace Tarr, Harley Gammon, Kemily Weininger, Olivia Harker, Kiera Boyer, Alexis Boyer, Tyson Quinn, Lily Bauer, Corey Redmond, Raylan Hackney, Ikea Wright, Bethany Mundy, Brody Gilbertson. Let's give all of our little firecrackers a big round of applause.
You're impressed that small town that I grew up in can have such a wonderful impact on the community and have all this crowd and these people and all this attention focused on this one small community. That's my first impression. What I really take away from it and I come back and see is that people are really, really happy to be here. Last night's Queen contest was a fantastic event where it brought so many people together and everybody was happy for that night, and community was really strong last night at the Queen contest, and I think that's something that the Catfish Festival does very well for the community, is show everybody that they are close, and the Shoals and the Martin County area is a close-knit community.
And the 2011 Little Miss Catfish Queen is contestant number 4, Emma Hurt.
My oldest daughter was the Catfish Queen in 1997. This is her, Tara. Tuttle Freeze. She's in the cook-off today, the Catfish cook-off. And at the time, everybody said, "What's it smell like to be Miss Catfish?" But she thought it smelled pretty good, you know, and we were so proud of her. And then my youngest daughter was Little Miss Catfish, and she was Junior Miss Catfish, and she was Miss Catfish in 2006. So we've, you know, they enjoyed being part of the festival representing the town in parades around different festivals, traveled to different towns and showed them what Shoals was all about.
And the 2011 preteen Catfish Queen is contestant number 6, Zeta Gore. Let's give all of our winners and all these young ladies a great big round of applause. They just did a super job this evening. Contestant number 1, Julie Dorsey. Contestant number 2, Amanda Grafton. Contestant number 3, Stephanie Kraft. Contestant number 4, Ashley Phillips. And the 2011 Junior Miss Catfish Queen, contestant number 2, Amanda Grafton. Contestant number 1, Haley Wade. Contestant number 2, Audra P. Deckard. Contestant number 3, Sasha Maines. Contestant number 4, Mackenzie Jones. Contestant number 5, Brianna Wagler. Contestant number 6, Tia Marie Sanders. Contestant number 7, Sabrina Rossi. And contestant number 8, Caitlin Sanders. And the 2011 Catfish Festival Queen is contestant number 1, Haley Wade. Let's give all of our winners, all these young ladies, a big round of applause. As we've said, they are all winners, and we are so proud of all of them. Congratulations, young ladies.
Now, do you practice kissing catfish at home so you can get ready for this, or is this, go ahead and talk about that experience that you've got to do on Monday, right?
Yes, I believe I do have to do it on Monday. I don't exactly go home and practice kissing fishes, but I'm pretty sure it'll be my first and last time ever doing it.
You pitching some shoes today?
Yep.
So how you doing?
Won both games so far.
Won both games.
Yes, I did. He's not played me yet.
Get on there! There it is! There's my partner.
The second day of the Catfish Festival is a full day of hometown reunion activities and games. It's an opportunity for old friends and families to come together to have a little fun as they reminisce and renew acquaintances. There's an unassuming inclusiveness that is a big part of the Catfish Festival's success. The festival helps entice area residents out of their isolation and unifies them into a broader community that is simply trying to put its best foot forward. It is this general understanding and acknowledgement that allows the Catfish Festival to effectively improve the quality of life and well-being of everyone in the community.
Catfish Festival is made up of a steering committee of all kinds of people from all walks of life in Shoals, and we try to involve the whole community. And a lot of people won't come to a meeting for any reason. They'll have 15 reasons why they can't come to a catfish meeting, but when it comes July 1, 2, 3, or 4, or whatever the dates are, they're there and they do their project, and they work all night long if they have to, and they work through the rain, and it gets done because there's a lot of good people in Shoals, Indiana.
When we have our meetings and stuff, they're not, we have maybe 10 guys at the meetings, but when we get all organized, we have like 100 people involved in it. So probably altogether we have 100 people. And like you see, one good thing it does, it gets the town all cleaned up. Everybody cleans the windows, decorates the windows. We have a decorating contest, and it just brings the whole community together.
I'm preparing my catfish when they give it to me to cook so that I can enter the contest and hopefully win. And today I'm going to do crab cake a recipe I use and switch the crab out for the catfish. And I mix different ingredients together, and then I fillet the fish and chop it up in little pieces, and I deep fry it then. And then I serve it with either a honey mustard or a brown mustard and hope that the judges will like it.
I've been in the catfish cook-off for, well, it seems like since it started. I've won once, and I've got 3 second places. Today we're fixing potato and onion catfish. My grandpas and great-grandpas, they ran the river all their life and caught fish, and they told me, said, if you're gonna catch them, you better know how to fix them. And when I was a kid, we would go down and run our trot lines, and then as soon as we got them to the bank, we'd fillet them all out, and we'd always have potatoes and fish, and we'd cook it right on the riverbank. It's not quite like we're doing today. And the old timers, the only way they would fix it is cornmeal and flour. But I've found a few different ways, and like I say, I hope when the judge sees it that he'll like it.
Out-of-town judges.
They got their hands full.
Yes, we do. We didn't realize we'd have our hands full. We've made our decision.
Yeah?
Yes, we have. I mean, it's harder than we thought.
What was the hard part?
They're all very good.
Yes, they are. Did you thought there'd be one that would just really stand out?
One really did stand out, but the rest, it was hard to pick. Number 2, wasn't it, babe? The runner-up.
I've never had catfish with mushrooms before. That's good.
They're from out of town. This is Angie and Gabe, and they'll be leaving right afterward. Competition's getting tougher all the time, I think. That's a tough job there. I sampled all those, and everyone is good. The runner-up for the 2011 Catfish Cooking Contest, sponsored by Steve Deckard and the Shoals News, is Marie Hawkins. Congratulations again. The grand champion gets a plaque and a $100 cash prize from the Shoals News, and this contestant's first time to participate. It is Tara Freeze. Originally from Shoals. Here's your $100 prize.
Thank you so much.
So, thanks for coming all the way up here from San Antonio to cook.
Used to be from Shoals, and now I'm living in San Antonio, Texas with my husband. He's in the military. I teach culinary arts and nutrition classes, and I have for the last 3.5 years at Clark High School in San Antonio, Texas. They honored the past 25 years of queens last night, and me and my sister were both catfish queens, so I came back for that. And then I figured I would make a go of it and try this cooking contest while I was here as well. I decided to make Baja tacos with a creamy jalapeno sauce because I figured I'd bring a little bit of Texas back to the Catfish Festival, and so I incorporated the catfish as the fish in the Baja tacos.
The story of the Catfish Festival cannot be told without detailing the involvement of the Shoals News. This weekly newspaper has had only 3 editors in the last 94 years. Sanford Deckard purchased the Shoals News in 1945, and it's been the family's business and life ever since.
Sanford moved here in 1945. He grew up in Bloomington. My mother was a linotype operator in Bloomington, and my dad ran the Bloomington newspaper for the Bradfute family. Bought this paper and moved here, and one of the things he liked about Shoals was the steam trains that were going by at the time. There's my dad's first issue. New editor. He succeeded Harry Strange, who had published it for the last 28 years.
And he was the first Grand Marshal, is that right?
He was the first Grand Marshal of the parade. One of his friends by the name of Tommy Stone ran the parade then, and they really didn't have a steering committee to select it. Tommy just said, "Sanford, you're it."
Steve Deckard grew up in the newspaper business. He began writing a column at the age of 7 and has been editor of the Shoals News for over 40 years.
I've never moved my father's hats off the hat rack. So that's kind of a memorial to my dad. We're still doing it for him.
Steve's daughter, Audra Petty Deckard, a senior at Shoals High School, began writing her own column called Audra's News at age 9. And Dad is proud to say she has never missed a deadline.
She's had her column in a newspaper for 9 years. And,
Do you remember your first column?
Kind of. It was really short.
She used to write about me, and I told her to stop doing that.
Stop writing.
Probably about 2 paragraphs.
After high school, she plans to attend college and major in journalism, then come back to Shoals and work at the Shoals News.
Audra ran for Catfish Queen this year, and we're talking about the big queen, the oldest set, and Audra ran for queen this year.
And my dad kind of started a tradition, what's it been, 5 years? About 5 years where whichever catfish queen wins, she gets the honor of kissing the big catfish. So that's a pretty good deal. So there's a lot of girls who aren't real sure about doing that, but.
And sure, she'd liked to win. She's just as happy because she didn't win, but she also really is probably thrilled to death
I
that
didn't win, kind of, because I wouldn't want to kiss that fish.
And I told her that's why I wanted her to win.
During the Catfish Festival, you'll see Steve Deckard snapping photos at every event.
I live upstairs over the newspaper, and I'm going to tell you, I went up there at midnight, 12:30 the last 2 nights, and we worked. In fact, Andrea helped me last night and worked till 12:30 on pictures. And I think this in tomorrow's, we print tomorrow, so we're kind of closed today, and we got the parade today, we got the fireworks tonight, and the Times Mail where we print is closed today. But we've got to print tomorrow anyhow, and we'll get it printed somehow, some way. But we'll only probably get the pictures in the paper through last night, and I'll save today's for next Tuesday because we got to do it justice, and we can't do it that quickly with no more help than there is to do it with. So we'll split it up this year. We've done that sometimes. No other newspaper in Indiana that I know of printed 106 pictures of their festival last year after it was over. 106 pictures, 5 by 7 or larger in the newspaper.
With everybody's caption under it.
With everybody had a cut line, everybody had a name, everybody was identified, and you know, we get people's picture in the paper that wouldn't be in there at any other time for any other reason. But we promote the Catfish Festival, and our slogan is, nobody serves catfish better. You can get catfish in a lot of places in Shoals, but nobody serves catfish better than the Shoals News. You know, I don't fish, I don't hunt, I don't bowl, I don't swim. I don't do much of anything besides work. So I don't have any hobbies, but I can tell you that, that in my day, I've sure taken a lot of catfish pictures. And we promote that all summer long or all fall long, just like we do the deer and the turkeys and whatever else somebody happens to bring in.
Though he was instrumental in getting the Catfish Festival started and works to sustain and promote the festival as much as anyone, Steve is reluctant to call attention to himself when it comes to the Catfish Festival. But last year he made an exception and agreed to be co-Grand Marshal with his longtime Catfish Festival partner, Gene Shaw.
Every year we nominate several people for Grand Marshal, and I never wanted to be the Grand Marshal, and Gene never wanted to be the Grand Marshal. We both wanted somebody else in the community to be honored other than us. And Gene was ill last year. He had some cancer issues in his spine and was taking treatments. And he, you know, maybe he had a premonition because somebody said, you two guys need to do it. It's been 25 years. And Gene just, I said, I won't do it without Gene. Gene said he wouldn't do it without me. They went and asked Gene, and Gene said, yeah, I'll do it. And you know, looking back, I mean, within a month after the Catfish Festival, after we did it, you know, Gene was dead. And maybe it was a premonition, but he always told me that was one of the happiest days of his life, was being in the parade. You know, we got a lot of good people here. I mean, we got so many good people. We've had 26 years of Grand Marshals. A lot of years it's just one person. A few times it's been 2 people. And there's always been somebody nominated that, you know, we just, it's kind of a secret ballot on a 2-inch square piece of paper. Who do you want to vote for? And it may take 6 times to reach a verdict. But, you know, we've honored so many good people, and there's so many more yet to honor.
I had a boat, but I had an Everett dealership for years. My father started it in '39, so we had a lot of history with boats.
This year's parade Grand Marshals, Jim and Sarah Jane Marshall, are volunteers at the Martin County Historical Society, located in the old Martin County Courthouse. This is the impressive building so visible from the bridge as you look across the river into West Shoals.
I'm the president of the Martin County Historical Society, and this is our museum, which is in the old Martin County Courthouse. The courthouse was built in 1876 and moved into it in 77. Everybody in the county of Shoals and Lagodi have been behind us. We have about 75 members, and there are a lot of them help. We have volunteers that we're open on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday during the summer. My grandfather was an attorney who practiced law in here, and my dad held every one of the county offices but one of them, I think.
Is that right?
So he spent most of his life in this building too.
So was he judge or?
He was like auditor and recorder and treasurer and clerk, I think. He was about everything in the county.
The Catfish Festival is an opportunity for Shoals to show its community spirit and pride. As the county's major attraction for promoting tourism and commerce, money raised from the Catfish Festival has helped broaden the cultural and recreational resources of the community.
See all these new streets and sidewalk stuff, we help with this, we help with the library, we help with the Little League, Boy Scouts, and all kinds of different organizations to get the money. And just the other day we gave $1,500 for some repair over to the museum in West Shoals. They had a bunch of storm damage. We gave them like $1,500.
Oh, we've been here this morning since about
8:30.
8:30.
I think we got here around 8:30.
Went down, got us a breakfast burrito, and come back, and we've been here, sitting down here. We've been coming here now for I don't know how many years. We come down from Kokomo for several years, and finally our daughter talked us into moving here about 2 years ago. So we still come to the Catfish Festival even though we live here.
We have 6 great-grandchildren that should show up here pretty shortly, mainly to get the candy.
We came to reserve the spot for them.
Most of the activities and excitement that happens at the Catfish Festival between the parade and fireworks takes place on Main Street outside of Queens in White River Outfitters downtown storefront.
Generally we have fish weigh in between 8 and 11 on the 4th, and then at 2 o'clock we do the awards presentation. The whole idea for the weigh-in time at such an early time is to get the fish in for the people after the parade for display. We just reach in the tank, grab them barehanded, and wrestle them out of there. When they're about 50-some pounds, it gets pretty hard sometimes. You might want to get back. We've been involved with the Big Fish contest since 2008. I personally have been involved with it since 1991. I worked at Marshall Motors up on the hill. They previously done it every year, except 3 years since the festival's been going. I think our record entered fish is 54 pound. We've had a couple of them 54, 53. We've really been on a good roll here the last 6 years. Maybe they all been in the 50s. There was some rumors of one in the 60s coming. There's rumors every year.
I don't exactly go home and practice kissing fishes, but I'm pretty sure it'll be my first and last time ever doing it.
Last year we done a little minnow race and gutters. This year I think we're going to do a goldfish eating contest, which we're going to see how that pans out. We've never done that before, so.
Oh, come on! We got to have more people in the goldfish eating contest. Guaranteed to be a ball.
I'm doing it. I'm gonna be the goldfish. No, I'm not doing that.
Oh,
yeah. But I'm not eating a goldfish.
Oh, yeah.
False start.
Do you want big or little fish? And I need the first 3 contestants, which will be Zane Blake, Max Fisher, and Haley Fisher. I need them right back here. Just those 3.
Haley, get over here. No, there's the goldfish.
Oh!
About every year here at the festival, I have a different event. This year it's going to be I have a hillbilly reunion right here in the hay, and then about 10-15 minutes later the revenuers are going to come in. And they're going to sit down and have a drink and stuff with us.
Moonshine.
And that's why they're going to check underneath the canvas over here.
Just
they're
water,
going to discover that we got a steel on there, and that's when all heck breaks loose. So we have got a big shootout.
The climax of nearly every 4th of July celebration is the fireworks. And the Catfish Festival's traditional fireworks display has quite a story.
Our system is accountable, and everybody who donates gets their name in the paper on the front page of the Shoals News. But we really don't do it to give them publicity, we do it to be accountable. And so there's no question about how much money is raised or how much money is spent. You can add it up yourself. When we turn the money into the Lions Club, Lions Club turns the money into the town of Shoals. And we order the fireworks, and we've got a handshake deal with a fireworks guy that Donnie Ikes from Circle City Pyrotechnics, and he has 24 shows this weekend. And guess where he's going to be tonight? Out of 24 shows, the guy that owns the company is going to be in the cornfield shooting the Shoals show. $10,280.
Tell me a little bit about your involvement here with the Shoals Catfish Festival. How'd you get involved with these people, and what are they like?
I wouldn't trade them from nobody. They're real good to me. Or as saying go, you treat each other right. And me and Steve have been kind of what you call hand to hand ever since we got here. I just love doing it and love blowing the sky up and keeping everybody happy.
Blowing the sky up and keeping people happy.
You got it.
All right, that should be your motto.
Yeah, it should be. The big thing when we got here, we had to come in here and level out corn, farmer's corn. And then we got in here, we kind of set back and say, okay, we're going to what shells go where, figure out what the layout's going to be.
And so what kind of show you got planned tonight for us?
It's going to be a little kicky one.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. I try to make a kick here, and I love it. When we get done, I love getting the yells and horn honking, and that's what makes your day. Once you see that light, back away. Get the hell out of the way. Right. Let me go on the other side. Okay. When you do this, you gotta make a choice. Set them off or watch. You cannot do them both.
And what about timing, and how long is the display going to last?
This one should last about anywhere from 20 minutes to a half hour, up to the weather and how we want to set them off.
Yeah. And are you looking at the weather to see what the weather's going to be?
I've been watching it, and they're saying it's 20% chance of rain, but so far, let me do this. Knock on wood, we ain't getting wet yet.
Yeah. So did you have a display going on last night?
Yeah, we had one going last night, got canceled.
Yeah.
Over in Boonville. We got to go tomorrow and do it. And we got a show over right now being set up at Holiday Work.
Okay. Busy time for you.
Oh yeah. Then we got one in Greenfield. We got one over a private party at Arlington and Southport Road. We got one in Brooklyn. We got one in Brownsburg. A little bit everywhere.
So do you wish every day was the 4th of July?
No. That's, I think, why I don't have any hair, because it's stress, really.
All right. Well, good luck tonight. In theater, they say break a leg. What do they say in fireworks?
Hey, they don't say nothing. Just if you see me running, you better try to keep up. Definitely.
While the Catfish Festival brings people to Shoals during the 4th of July holiday, there are several places for Shoals visitors to come the rest of the year. A couple of doors down from Queens and White River Outfitters is another Shoals landmark, Velma's Diner. Velma's is a favorite stop for good old home cooking with pie for dessert. Here you'll find Velma's daughter, Debbie Montgomery, still fixing Velma's recipes.
I worked here when I was a teenager, and then my mother bought it, and then I worked for her, and then she got sick here at the diner, actually right here on this stool. She had a major stroke, and she never was able to return, and she had to do something with it, and she wanted to keep it in the family, so I purchased it from her.
And we really miss her. We go see her, but we miss her here.
And believe me, she wants to know what's going on here still yet today, even though she does not own it anymore. She's constantly wanting to know what's going on. We're famous for our meatloaf and our catfish sandwiches.
And our catfishes are 5 to 7 ounces. We hand bread them. They're deep fried to perfection. And our coconut pies. Oh, you can't get none any better than our coconut pie. That's Velma's recipe, but her granddaughter and her daughter makes it just like she did. And yes, that's real homemade pie, from the crust all the way to the topping. Everything's home cooked, everything's fresh, everything's good, and you can't get no better home cooked meal.
And one thing about it, in the summertime, we have a hard time keeping fried green tomatoes.
We had a saying one time, Velma's Diner is where good friends and good food come together. And that is the truth, because we're in a small town, everybody knows everybody, and it definitely is a family atmosphere. 90% of our customers are called by name.
When you enter Shoals from the east, you'll find a true slice of Americana, Bomax Drive-In, located at the junction of Highways 50 and 150. Bomax is an old-style drive-in where car hops take your order and serve you in your car. For over 50 years, folks have been stopping by Bomax for an ice cream or a Rocks burger. Open in warm weather months, owners Cecil and Diana Ragsdale are the third generation to operate this family-run business. The Catfish Festival helps bring the Shoals community together. This 3 to 4 day 4th of July celebration creates a wonderful sense of community pride that helps sustain the town of Shoals year-round. Friends and families come home for reunions that celebrate the past, but what the Catfish Festival does to get Shoals looking to the future is what makes this festival really exciting. It offers a glimpse of a simple but rich lifestyle seeped in the river culture of a beautiful countryside, and it provides a welcome mat for folks to come to town and stay a while, come back often, and maybe even call it home. Perhaps even open up a new business in downtown Shoals like Sugar Shack owner Robert Basel did.
We are the owner of Sugar Shack on Main Street. It's me and my wife and my mother-in-law. My wife, she worked until we had our child. She liked to cook, she liked to bake. My mother-in-law, she lost her job after so many years when the factory shut down and moved. So I told her, I said, look, if that's what y'all want to do, start making stuff. So they were making cakes and pies and cookies and fudge at the beginning. And I said, you know what? I always wanted to own a donut shop. And so that's how it started. And everybody thought I was crazy, but I tell you what, it took off. I'm gonna let you test this. And this is the Sugar Shack. All right. We're the mastermind of the whole outfit. No, listen to these guys.
They've told me the whole secret.
What's this?
They're the masterminds behind the Sugar Shack.
You listen to them, you were really being serious. I never stole nothing. No, never do it again. So said Tricky Dick. The people live here. I mean, they welcomed me in when I first got here, and it's like family. I mean, we are all a small little town. If you've seen what was going on around here, and it's a great community. We got great leaders that work, that work to make the community more stronger and bigger. But Catfish Festival, there's nothing like it. I mean, we got people coming from everywhere for this because it was the town that made it.
Maybe we need to promote ourselves more, but we're limited to how much we can promote ourselves because we're in a floodplain. So we can't grow, okay? We're in a floodplain, we can't grow. But maybe we're just as well off. We don't have a lot of things that cities have, but maybe that's a good thing. The cities have a lot of things that we don't want.